Hello, and welcome to Grantham University's BA410. This is a procurement and contract capstone. In this particular course, you'll be able to gain an understanding on the value and importance of leadership development in a successful contracting or acquisition organization. Through realistic scenario-based learning, you'll be able to discuss and practice the development of sound business solutions as a valued strategic and expert business advisor. You'll also be able to learn and analyze complex contracting situations with an emphasis on critical thinking, problem solving, research, and risk reduction. You'll be able to participate in exercises and case studies specifically designed to contribute to real solutions on real contracting and acquisition problems. Enjoy the course. In week one, we have two primary objectives. First of all, we'll define effective leadership and its critical nature in a successful contracting environment. Secondly, we'll take a look at some of the key leadership competencies that enable critical thinking in a high-performance contracting environment. In the leadership gap in buying and selling, there are 5 critical ideas that we'll address here in this particular lesson. We'll talk about from an introductory perspective of why this is basically important to you, whether you're in the buying or the selling environment. Secondly, we'll look at the new performance-based buying and selling environment. Thirdly, we'll discuss leadership and how leadership is essentially the key to business success. Fourth, we'll take a look at what leaders of buying and selling organizations, what they really should know and what they should do. And we'll look at a specific model that will help them to be able to fill the gap in terms of development of their organizational leadership. And fifth, we'll take a look at some ideas on how organizations can fill the gap by developing a leadership pipeline. So let's talk a little bit about why this topic is so important to you. The importance of leadership in the buying and selling domain is vital for both government and industry sectors alike. This particular lesson discusses the varied aspects of how to build leadership and solve leadership gaps to sustain the buying and selling capability of an organization. As your text suggests, the Office of Personnel Management has reported that 75% of top civil service executives are beyond the age of 50, and almost half are older than 55. Unfortunately, this is a dilemma that's facing both public and private sector buying and selling organizations. So what we'll talk about in this particular lesson is a prospective game plan on how to solve the leadership gap. Additionally, we'll find that solving this leadership equation is a vital discussion that many organizations and senior leaders are very concerned about, but many are proactively seeking measures and opportunities to yet resolve. Let's talk about the new performance-based buying and selling environment. As we've said, leadership is the key to business success. Understanding the fact that leadership is a key mission essential component of business success cannot be over or understated. This is yet a new day, a new time, new direction, and thus must be led and directed by leadership. Performance success equals organizational effectiveness. There are essentially 3 key parameters to success. That of efficiency, doing things smarter, profitability, how we understand the business and our ability to leverage existing tools, capabilities, and strategies. And also that of talent development, how we can place emphasis on the development of workforce and the consideration of optional strategies such as outsourcing ideas. The bottom line, leadership is key to profitability and business success. Let's now talk a little bit about what leaders should know and do. The Contract Management Senior Executive Assessment Tool, CMSEAT, is an effective way of focusing on what senior managers view as success enablers to their respective organizations. So we'll take a look at this model to discuss key components in contract management, whether in the buying or selling environment. The bottom line is that we can draw upon this model and the conclusions that it bears to facilitate our learning and discussion here. The CMSEAT is essentially in two parts. The first part is a 50-question checklist survey on what senior executives should know and do. The second part is an analysis tool that allows organizations and individuals to compare and contrast results to improve business decisions. So to facilitate this particular lesson, you'll learn some of the key components of this particular model. Let's now take a look at the 10 focus roles of CMSEAT. Number 1, business conduct issues. Number 2, creating buying and selling teamwork. Number 3, establishing a common buying and selling vocabulary and process. Number 4, oversight of contract and project planning. Number 5, oversight of opportunity and risk management. Number 6, commitment to contract changes. Number 7, contract visibility management. Number 8, business management. 9, development of buying and selling culture. And last, number 10, support of contract corrective actions. Let's now talk about some of the different trends that we might use to supply the leadership pipeline. Filling the gap by developing a leadership pipeline. One underlying factor is that there are too many managers and too few leaders. However, to solve this imbalance, it's not simply a promotion of individuals. The solution is a dedicated process that seeks to develop the leadership pipeline using talent from within and outside of the organization. To effectively and successfully accomplish this, we must be cognizant of the challenges associated with the development of leaders. And these include 3 key principles: promotion of people to manage others, simply because they were good individual performers; promotion of people to the next level or passage who have not mastered their current level; and 3, promotion of people on the basis of non-performance related aspects, for example, of availability, known commodity, prominent school, quota requirement, etc. These are all challenges associated with the development of leaders. We're now going to talk about the concept of leadership competencies. And this is basically building high-performance buying and selling teams. To facilitate this discussion, there are 3 key ideas that we would like to present. First of all is just basically an introduction on why this is an important topic to you. And secondly, the buying and selling leadership levels and the competency model associated with that. And thirdly, buying and selling leadership competencies and the specific areas of importance that we might want to consider. So why is this topic important to you? One of the keys for success in future buying and selling organization is that of outsourcing, seeking external talent to help meet the needs and efficiencies of an organization. However, the misnomer is that many feel that successful and effective leadership is only beneficial at the top. Contrary, to achieve long-term success, organizations must focus and consider the building of leaders at every level of the organization, especially in the buying and selling sectors. So as we mentioned previously, leadership is highly valued for success and our ability to keep pace with increased demands and the need for high efficiencies and metrics for success. Thus, it is very important that we understand the dynamics of evolving and understanding leadership competencies and skill sets. So this is also a key for individual and professional success as well. Let's talk about the buying and selling leadership levels and the specific competency model associated with that. Figure 2-1 in your text highlights 12 key competencies of the buying and selling leadership levels and competencies. The model is essentially broken out into two separate and distinct parts, governing both leadership development at the organizational and specialized leadership levels. Number one, the 7 levels of organizational leadership mastery. And number 2, the 5 leadership specialized skill areas, or what we call SSAs. As you complete this survey, you'll be able to assess your own buying and selling leadership skills. Your answers will also help you determine whether you have the skills required and will also help you identify the areas where you may need improvement. When we consider the buying and selling leadership competencies or skills, there are essentially 5 SSAs we can focus on out of this particular lesson. They include decision-making skills. This involves our ability to make timely and accurate business decisions when leading a team of business professionals involved in buying and selling. We also have communications, verbal and nonverbal. To be effective leaders, all aspects of communications is important. Whether spoken or unspoken communication, this is just as important in the aspect of leadership and teaming as negotiating with the client. Thirdly, integrity. Integrity is a mission imperative to build trust in the organization. This discussion focuses on how to learn, establish, and retain integrity. Buying and selling business acumen. Business acumen is key in demonstrating that you know and understand the business of buying and selling. It also involves a combination of business education, experience, training, mentoring, and coaching, and knowing business trends and markets. So learn your world, know your business. Interpersonal relations. Your ability to learn people and how to deal with people is critical to success and leadership in any organization. This will enable your ability to resolve conflicts and evolve partnerships, which are crucial to business success. Your text discusses 15 key building blocks for establishing key professional relationships. This brings us to the end of our first week lesson. We've had two key ideas out of this particular lesson. First of all, we defined effective leadership and its critical nature in a successful contracting environment. And secondly, we were able to identify key leadership competencies to critical thinking, and particularly in a high-performance contracting environment.